making your way in the world today, you really need a pod. Why don't you put your headphones in and give this one a shot? Wouldn't you like to just listen away and go to a place where everybody knows who you are? Listen to two guys brew, ha ha. Cold Street Brewery and Full Buddy Cast, two of the greatest names. Why don't you go and listen to this episode? I like it. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast presents Brew Ha Ha. Brew Ha Ha is every Monday we try to hit it. It's where we get together. It's me, Travis Kenny from Full Buddy Cast, with Sean McDonald, the owner, the absolute incredible guru over at Cold Street Brewery.
Me up really high.
That's his voice. We got Sean McDonald, and we just talk beers. We talk beer of the week. We talk beer stuff. We nerd out on brew stuff. But we've got a special little thing going on today. We kind of teased it last week, but this week you're listening to it. Sean, will you mind just telling us what we got going on today?
Yeah, so, I'm a big support local. Of course, I support everything in my town. But on top of that, I'm a big beer geek where I support everybody that's a local brewery around us. I'm always trying to promote and work together with everybody that's, close to me, even far away. Like, brewers are always really wide open and helpful. So today, I invited my buddy out, Luke from Lost Woods. Lost Woods is in Bonnie Lake, and he's out here. We kind of talked a little bit about him last week, and I was like, you know what? We should get him out on the show.
I like it. So we got Luke. Luke, go ahead and give the audience just a nice hey. How you doing?
How's it going, everyone? I'm Luke from Lost Woods.
Very good.
Yeah, look at him.
Man,
Professional.
you're super professional.
He hasn't had beers like us.
Yeah, so we're actually sipping on some Lost Woods beers right now. This beer, it's called what?
This is our Manimal IPA. 105 IBUs.
Yep.
7.3% alcohol.
Nice.
So it's a little up there. So it's kind of like an amber and an IPA got together, and you created a beer.
Yeah, it's got the in-your-face hops at the end, but it's nice, sweet, caramely on the front.
Yep. Very malty.
Yeah, and I was talking last week about the beer styles and how they're guidelines, and this is where you've taken two different beers and kind of combined them. So you can kind of fit them. It's not exactly in either one of them, but it's kind of right down the middle, which is great.
That's a delicious beer.
Definitely a balance between the two.
Absolutely delicious beer.
Well, thank you.
And then the alcohol level's perfect too, because it's not like over the top. With the huge amount of hops, like over 100, you automatically think, oh man, it's gonna be fire. There's gonna be some freaking really alcohol in it. But sitting at 7.2, that's perfect.
It creeps up on you.
It does creep up on you.
Yeah. After there are some people that swear they kind of more. 2 or 3 and they're all personality altering.
Yeah, for sure. You turn into a manimal.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
Perfect.
We can't even, for beer competitions, we've never been able to enter Manimal because it doesn't fit in any real category.
It's kind of loose. It's what's that Iron Horse? What's the beer from Iron Horse that's super popular? They're the Irish Death.
The Irish Death.
Irish Death is the same thing. Irish Death is not a porter and it's not a stout. It goes right down the middle.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize that, and that's another one you can't put in competition.
It's technically like a strong ale.
This Manimal created. How many years ago was that?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Is it one of your best sellers?
Yeah. Until our hazy IPA came out, it was our best seller. Now our hazy's our best seller.
But
it's still we have. That beer has a huge following. A lot of people, that's the only thing they drink when they come in.
Yeah, didn't it win the Beer Olympics down at Cascades?
Yeah, it was part of it. Yeah.
Because it was... touch on that. Like, explain is that going to happen again?
I hope so.
What is Beer Olympics?
Yeah, let's touch on Cascades. Cascades is a beer tap room that's down in Puyallup, downtown Puyallup. They have arcade games. And they have hot dogs, and then they have extensive beer lists.
Bracket.
Yeah. The basketball tournament, only it's for beers.
Yeah.
And it's local beers.
Yep.
Oh, so they have a little bracket.
It's Washington
It's a bracket. And then when they did it a few years ago, when we won, it was every round you had to bring a different style beer in.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so you had to have
A
bunch
beer
of different
battle.
beers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Couldn't just bring your number one beer in and ride that all the way to the promised land.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's all about, the other thing is it's all about getting people down there to vote. So that's why I'm bringing it up right now. So when we do this again, we're going to be throwing this out on the podcast, and that way you guys already have a heads up. Like come March, well, I don't, with the COVID thing, it's going to be tough to know whether they're going to be able to do it. Was it March? I think it was after March.
Right around March. Yeah. April.
It might have been April, yeah. Like the month after that way it doesn't interfere with the
They're getting pretty
tournament.
creative down there with COVID, and they're doing like, instead of a brewer's night, they'll do a brewer's week.
Yeah.
Now, so maybe they got something up their sleeve.
Nice. So your Lost Woods, where did you get the name from?
That's a pretty crazy story. Out in the woods there. Got lost a couple times. One time for 2 days.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Stop. Hiking.
That's right. I did hear this story. This is a good story. Let's do
Yes,
this.
I will.
We do outdoor stories on the show
talk
sometimes.
about this.
Yeah.
Like what? So what'd you do?
Which story are you talking about, Sean?
One where you got lost for a couple days.
Okay, all right.
And you're out there with,
Yeah. First time when I was like 17 when I was working out there. We went on a hike, and it was August, but we got up to where there was still some snow. We lost the trail. Luckily, it was on a ridge, so we were able to. We knew if we just went down the ridge, we'd hit Highway 101 and get out of it
at some point.
Yeah,
And you're just in
that
the
was
middle of
the plan,
nowhere.
and we were throwing our gear off cliffs and sliding down crazy hills, and so it took an extra day to get out of there. So we were lost, but we weren't lost. But but
If it takes you an extra day to get out, I'd say you're pretty lost.
Yeah. So that's kind of part of where it came from. It's also a hybrid of there's the woods in Bonnie Lake woods.
Perfect.
Yep. That's
Wow,
between those two stories kind of combined together.
That's awesome.
Sure.
And so origin, so you started kicking it off with the homebrew, and then when did you go like, hey, I'm gonna go ham on this thing?
About 10 years ago, I switched.
Started scaling up.
Got rid of the
Actually
extract.
practicing.
Started doing all grain brewing. Getting better equipment, starting to keg instead of bottling, because most people don't realize. I mean, Sean, but home brewing, bottling's the worst part of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's so inconsistent, and they blow up, and they crack.
Cleaning them is just a pain in the butt. And so I got some kegging equipment, got a kegerator at my house, and then started kind of cranking out. I just wanted a couple good recipes, and then.
Start with your main 4 and then expand from there.
Yep. And then 5 years ago, quit my job, applied for my brewery license at my house.
First tap room was out of his garage.
Yeah, first tap room was out of the garage, so the licensing and everything took about a year. And the tap room was open in the garage. We had 3 beers. We had a pale ale or Belgian, which is also kind of a hybrid. And then Manimal came out a few weeks after we opened. And about a month and a half into it, I had to shut down because neighbors didn't like it.
That's a
I thought everyone would be cool with having beer around, but no one ever even came over and asked for a beer. So, but it was, operating a business out of a brewery out of your garage leads to grain in the driveway that gets picked up and other unpleasant things for the neighbors to look at. So
I've been to a lot of breweries that have started that way and it's always kind of the same thing. They shut down at like 5 o'clock on a Saturday, which is always frustrating for me. That's from out of area going to find them.
We
there's
had
no real sign. You're like, where is this place at?
Nice. So where are you at now?
So it's in the parking lot where the old Albertsons used to be. So when you go past Costco and you start dropping down the hill, it's on the left there. So it's easier to take a left on that light if you're coming from Enumclaw. Take a left at that light and go up. And instead of turning right into Sonic in the Lowe's, take a left into that parking lot and it's right there.
Yeah. All right. So for those other people that may not know what the Albertson is, Old Albertsons,
where the old Halloween place is.
It's the Halloween place.
It's the Halloween place.
Every Halloween is the Halloween place.
Yeah. So then tried to jump that into that. So within our first year, we had a huge, retail spot, and
you're super lucky with your spot though. I picked up the old Quiznos that shut down there.
Yeah, came with everything,
wow.
all the walk-in coolers, all the meat slicers, everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, which was a huge bonus for a small startup like us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just to have the gear without having to go out there and purchase it.
Yep.
Super convenient. So he's got some awesome sandwiches that he serves there. And
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a food variety.
Not at the moment. We're switching that over. But
COVID. the other thing we want to talk about, like, how are you, COVID obviously has been tough. Like, everybody's had to pivot in different ways. What are some of the ways that you've pivoted, and how are you doing? How are you keeping it going?
Well, we, when it first happened, first shutdown was actually the second shutdown. We just had to adjust our labor hours and our operating hours and how much we're brewing.
Yeah, that's another thing is, you don't want to have too much on hand because it'll just die.
And generally, when you have too much on hand, you can sell them to a bar,
right? But then the bars
are closed.
Yeah.
So there's not too many places to sell it.
For sure.
Because
people are staying home. So drink at home, drink our beer at home.
Yeah. So we did that, and just during the 50% part, which was great. We didn't really change much during that time frame. We had to add a beer garden into the parking lot, which my neighbors. So normally that's not allowed in our complex at all, but the landlords were cool, made an exception.
Kind of have to.
Yeah,
you want me to pay my rent?
Yeah, it's in everyone's best interest. So I got all my business neighbors, to sign off on it, and they all agreed. So that's good. And then we just recently got a tent.
Kind of a wedding venue type tent?
Yeah, big 20 by 30 tent. So we're trying to localize the heat instead of trying to heat a giant thing.
That makes more
sense. We do have
yeah.
one big, tall torch one right in the middle for a little bit of ambient heat, but between all that, so far, so good. Going through a lot of those green canisters, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep.
Purchase those? Like, do you go to a
Walmart?
Okay,
or whoever's got them.
I don't know if anyone was cooking you up with them or anything.
No,
like that.
So those things are just
going
kind
to
of
camping stores and that sort of thing.
I'm still trying to find the best place, but so far it's just wherever I could find them and what's convenient.
Yeah,
in a pinch.
All right, so we're drinking another beer.
All right, yeah. We're moving on to the second beer that Luke provided us with. So what do we got here, Luke?
By the way, it's dark as midnight.
Yeah, that's our stout. It's Cold Night in the Woods is what it's called.
That's why it's dark. Cold Night in the Woods makes it nice and crisp on the tongue.
Yeah, it's pretty robust.
It is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But also robust. Pretty smooth. Yeah, and 8.3%. So it's up there. It's
because this is a higher alcohol.
The higher alcohol, and then it's just a little thicker viscosity. Because it's a stout and so much grains are used during the brewing process. Like, sometimes it doesn't want to move as smoothly through the pumps.
Yeah,
as like say our golden ale.
Yeah,
and
where it's crystal clear water,
and it takes a little longer, and sometimes it can be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, you can just think of it as oil. Like, you got really thick oil and you got really thin oil.
Yep.
So the stout is the thicker oil that you're trying to move through.
If I were to say, and if any of the beers, which is my hardest beer to brew, it would be this one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just...
So do you do an Imperial Stout, or is this like what you consider your like Imperial Stout?
So for now, that's our only stout.
Oh, okay.
We have a porter also,
okay.
But with the upgrades that we're doing with once we get our newer system installed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Upgrades.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got? What's going on here?
We are moving from our current 1-barrel system, which, if you don't know what 2 kegs of beer at a time is all we can make.
Right.
So we're upgrading to a 7-barrel system.
2021 goal of the year? Like, when is this 7-barrel hit?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the goal of the year. Yeah, it's we're hoping.
Yeah,
hoping
everybody's crossing fingers on a lot of things.
July, really?
Yeah. July system in place. Are you going to have a tap room at that spot too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So are you going to have
moving
two locations?
Two locations. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Take a page out of Sean's book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I'm
nice
a front runner. I
nice
show everybody
both of those locations.
But hey, I love it too. Yeah, I mean, cheers to that.
So we're hoping that timing-wise it works out to where this summer with vaccinations and everything, things are going to be opening up.
So when you say we, who do you mean by we?
Oh, I have other... I'm not the only owner in the company.
Sure.
I started it, but I brought on a few other people along with me to help
keep
out.
Keep it moving forward.
I'm a brewer, and I tend to think I'm a pretty good business owner, but it's good to have a sounding board and have other people's ideas. And,
I truly miss my partner on that fact. Like, it's nice having somebody else to bounce ideas off
of,
that's involved. You bounce it off of random people like Travis, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go out and buy that." Like, no, Trav, no.
Let's go get that garage door for $800,000.
That's what everyone was. I had a lot of customers telling me, "Why don't you just put a garage door?"
Yeah, we had.
I want to. They're cool. I always want one, but
Yeah, we talked about that a couple podcasts ago too.
Yeah.
And we even threw it out there. I'm like, well, first of all, they're like sold out right now. You can't get one.
Right.
And I was like, well, and they're expensive. So if you want to just throw me money or just bring me a garage door, I'll put it in.
Wait, like one, like this one, the one that I
no,
have?
not like that one. No.
yeah.
Legit, like. So this one's like 12 feet, isn't
It's
it?
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't need something that
All
big.
right. Fine.
Like I don't think my
Not
landlord
that tall anyway.
would have been okay with me putting a garage door on the building.
Yeah, I struggle with
I
that.
had to move my beer tent.
I don't have a tent right now.
No,
So I was good.
because of the windstorm.
Because
It's Mary Poppins. She took off.
But yeah, going back to the ownership thing. Yeah, it's good to have other people's ideas and different skill sets. Like one of the owners is awesome with tech stuff. Like,
Do you want to shout them out? Or?
yeah, we have Dan and Ashley Rose are part owners. Travis and Jen Gahan, and then Sam and Sarah Stillings, and also Scott and Lee Grance. That's my ownership group, and they all started off as customers.
Yeah, I know Trav and Jen. Jen used
Yep.
to work for me a
She
long
did.
time ago.
Yep.
And then I sold my my home brewing stuff to Trav and Jen, I guess. Yeah,
He's getting ready to fire it back up.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, I'm still kicking myself because that's like a great little test system. You can make, it's not huge. I mean, like, I had it it depends on how you set it up, but I had tier systems where, I could brew, 15-gallon batch, and that's, good amount that you can test stuff,
Yep.
Yeah. I'm kind of, kicking myself. I kind of miss that system.
Yeah,
It's nice to have that in your garage to go out there and.
I recently had a chance to buy some of my old equipment back, and I was pretty happy about it. Same
that
thing, just to have back. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Craig. Yeah, Craig
Yeah.
from Lake Taps Brewing.
Lake Taps Brewing,
Well, defunct Lake Taps Brewing. Luke Taps is no longer. Don't go try and look for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he stops in the brewery every now and again. He had a conversation about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This beer is hitting me now. Like having the Manimal, and then what was the stout called? Just a stout?
Lost in the Woods.
Cold Night in the Woods.
Cold Night in the Woods. I'm pretty much going to be done for the rest of this. I'm not drinking, but the rest of this podcast, I'll probably sit here and just listen to your stories.
I haven't even made it to the stout yet, so.
Oh, yeah. You need. Okay, listen. Chug that real quick.
This is a drinking event.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. This
Instantly
is not
close
an
your-
event.
Instantly close your ears.
Scratch that off. We are not doing an event.
Here you go, Luke. Luke Taps. Let me get that.
All right. But speaking of events in the past, so we aren't talking about events currently, but events in the past. So Luke and I have, collaborated on a couple, right here in town, like right here in Enumclaw, we do the beer walk. Luke's been up here with Lost
Oh,
Woods.
really? Nice.
He's been here. I don't know. We've had 3 beer walks. I'm pretty sure Luke's been at all of them.
Yeah, I've been. I only
3.
missed one of them.
Yeah. So I think we've had 3, and you've been at 2 of them. Yeah. So obviously, it's been in town. We've, people that are from our area have tried his beer, if not been to his brewery. It's not that far away. It's only in Bonnet Lake. Come on, people, get out. But on top of that,
either way, whatever side you're on of the bridge you're on, it's
Yeah.
a big deal.
that is true, especially when it's shut down. It's flowing now, but the traffic can be pretty bad certain nights. But on top of that, I've gone. I think it's Tunes on Taps, and it's put on by their Lions. Yeah, by their Lions Club.
The Lions Club.
Lions Club, and they bring out live local music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's.
I've been there for that.
It's at Allen York Park, which is a pretty cool spot
It's
for
like
this.
Wednesday nights or like Thursday night.
Yeah. And then they have one big one kind of
at
near
the end of the
summer.
season. Yeah, right at the end of the summer.
Who's that band that plays there every once in a while? The guy is like a drummer. He dresses like in an animal T-shirt. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh wow!
I don't know.
Oh, the
don't
guy's
know that,
wild.
yeah.
The guy's cool.
Sounds like a manimal.
He is.
Should give him the beer and
there you
take
go.
a picture. Brand it.
We're back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great event. So Luke and I have been down there a couple times, and the fun thing about that event is it being an event, they have volunteers that serve the beers. So we're just down there, obviously helping with the beer, right? But we're also just hanging out.
Yeah,
being
hanging out, and
brewers
you get to actually talk to the customers about the beer, which is nice, instead of just pour.
Distracted by that.
Yep.
Get to talk about it.
Yeah,
explain your beer. Then we also get to share some beers together. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah,
always
nice
the
break
best
time.
thing about beer events is like, you know, what's your new beer? What do you got down here? You know,
Yeah.
just, you know, sharing
Always
that
try
sort
to
of
bring
thing.
something new to those. I like the Enum Claw one because it's completely different. Well, I like the Bionic Lake one too, but one thing about the Enum Claw one that's completely different is it's a beer walk-in. I don't think there's a beer event anywhere like it where you go into individual small businesses and
See
the
the
breweries are posted up in these small businesses, so it's
see
a
the
double win.
business and see the brewery. So
Yeah.
you're kind of meander. You're standing in line. You're kind of looking at their business.
Yeah,
So
and it's
a lot
right
of
in-
them are places you've never been in. You're
Yeah.
like, I've never gone in this. It sells women clothing. I don't know why I go. Oh, and you're like, oh wait, it doesn't just sell women clothing. Like
Yeah.
there's other stuff in here.
very cool very cool community event, and
To a lot of
hopefully
events.
we'll have events soon.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
wouldn't that
Yeah.
be nice?
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah, that's summer without beer events last year.
or
different.
concerts or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So, as someone who's not a beer nerd like you guys are, okay, I like to ask questions that just absolutely like interest me.
Mhm.
Granted, I'm drunk at this moment. What was your worst brew that you can remember? I know we've talked with Sean. What was your worst brew? What year was it? And did you try to sell it, or did you just dump the whole thing down your drain and go, should never do this again?
About 3 years ago, I dumped it. It was a beer that we had already been successful with. Our Blood Orange Pale Ale. It was a seasonal summer beer, but it went sideways and got infected in it.
You think it was the fruit, putting the fruit in, like maybe just not handling the
I
fruit
think it was
right,
something in the air.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Outside. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an outside source because it was puree. So
Okay.
Out of the can, I didn't. So I think the fruit was probably fine.
Okay.
But yeah. So that one I had to dump.
That's always, just trying to figure out where it
Yeah.
came from. Like, what did this so we don't do it
Yeah,
again?
yeah. That and luckily,
Especially you're adding, there's cost to that.
Yeah.
You bought that puree or,
luckily
put
it wasn't a 7-barrel batch or
Yeah.
20-barrel batch like some of these other breweries are doing.
Yeah.
So it still sucked because it's a lot of work to even make the 2 kegs to 1-barrel batch. It's a lot of work to just and money still to just toss it. But
Yeah.
it was an inferior product. And then
So, with that question, hi, my family's walked in. Hi, Jacqueline and Jamie. Okay, gotta be quiet. It's my wife Jamie. This is Luke
Who's
from
not drinking
Lost
a beer,
Woods, and this
just
is
so
my
we're clear.
daughter Jacqueline, who's being
And
a
not
goofball.
not drinking a wine either.
Yeah, what are you?
We're not even going to talk about what she's
dude,
drinking.
I'm telling you, I had that today. I'm going to say what it is. It's a My Cards lemonade, new seltzer, and I took 2 sips, and I got a headache.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
Pure sugar.
All right, so we're talking about worst brews. What was your absolute best brew? Like, where you drank it and you thought, or how do you even test?
when you're mashing your grains, you get your wort, and then you measure and it tells you a number of how much sugar is in your beer. Then once you start fermenting it with the yeast, it eats the sugar, and then there's a math equation that
Figure it
gives
out.
you your
kind of
alcohol.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So to be clear, you brew and you have a wort
Yeah.
that turns into a beer.
There
so you
you go.
test your wort.
Yeah.
Once it has alcohol, then it's beer.
Yeah.
So that's how when you're under 21, you can go and get all the supplies to make wort. It's not illegal until you have beer.
And by the way,
Earmuffs on all of that.
I
Thank
really
you.
wish I would have started brewing beer in high school.
I did.
Earmuffs
start brewing.
again on all that.
Yeah.
Everyone listening, earmuffs. Inslee, if you're listening, earmuffs.
Because you can go in a brew shop. You can be 8 years old and walk into a brew shop
And
and
buy everything.
they'll sell everything
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
No problem.
So many earmuffs on this one. But best brew. The absolute, were you oh,
Is it like
man,
best
dude.
selling brew?
No,
or
I mean,
are you
like,
asking
The
like,
one that I was
I'm
most
like-
satisfied
I'm
with.
like when you
or
get
the one that he was super happy.
The
that-
one where you were just
Accomplished.
extremely, yes.
Yeah. Our new IPA that has yet to come out.
Yeah, okay.
What a great tease. I want to say that it's the one.
The one that's coming.
It's
The one that's
you've
coming.
never tasted,
It'll-
but it tastes amazing.
It'll be out when the new place opens. But
That's
other
great.
than that, it's a West Coast style, and I really feel like I nailed it exactly how I wanted it.
Okay. Yeah.
But other than that, for a beer that's out already, probably our hazy, Wicked Haze.
Yeah.
Yep.
And is that now?
I've tried that. That is great beer. I was hoping he was bringing that tonight. But he wanted to mix it up for you, Trav.
I was, but I decided
Damn
to bring. I was, but I decided to bring the stout instead. Yeah.
So this guy over here, he'll wake up at like midnight and start brewing, 1 a.m. and start brewing. Do you have any wonky hours too?
I do.
Every once in a while.
Yeah. Similar to Sean's maybe, but on a different kind of differentness level. I would usually start my brew days around 4 p.m. and finish around midnight.
Yeah.
Working the swing shift.
Which for a lot of people is, well, because I would usually do like my brewery admin stuff in the daytime because there's still work to be done at the tap room business wise. And so I would do that. And then I would go home, brew some beer till midnight. So sometimes till like 2 a.m.
I also want to point out that his brewery was in his home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's helpful.
Yeah.
He's not sleeping on. He's not taking naps on pews.
No, I'm not. I tell him, I'm like, hey, you just start between like 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Like,
We can wear off what it took after the tap room closed.
yeah. So
why are you brewing with other people? Like, are you learning? Are you
collaborations?
Okay.
Just a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for me because
cross sell?
I'm on a smaller system, so it's fun to do collaborations with breweries that maybe have a bigger system, and then helps me. We split the batch, helps me get more beer.
You want to shout out? It's up to you.
Oh, it's Ross at Four Generals.
Oh, Four Generals. Yeah, I got feelers out with him. He's going to come out talk to us. Well, I don't know what's going on now, but he was going to expand as well. He's open up second
he's
one.
working on something.
Yeah.
And then Off Camber.
Oh yeah, love those guys.
We did a coconut porter this winter.
Well, it's always, reach out a little out of your zone. That way, it's like you're shipping your beer out there, and they're shipping their beer out to you. So it's like kind of a little bit more stretch. That's how I've always taken like the collab idea. Mm-hmm. So you're in different areas, just introducing a different area.
For us, we did more of pick the grains, yeast, then they pick the hops or the flavoring,
like a mashup. So like everybody's kind of figuring it out. Yeah. Yep. So that's Flat Six Pubs is great about doing that. Like they just draw out of a hat. You get partnered with somebody.
Oh, that's cool.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite, we were talking about the Great American Beer Festival over in Denver. I think Denver, right?
Yep.
Have you gone to that? Have you ever been to, what's your favorite beer festival to go to, even if it's local?
Yeah, I unfortunately haven't been able to go to any of the big ones, like the national ones. Not yet. After COVID, I plan on making up for that.
Yeah.
But locally, like going back, I'd say on a larger scale, the one in Olympia, actually.
Down south?
Yeah, the Olympia Beer Fest is a great one.
That's
Tumwater Beer Fest.
Yeah, it's off by the Olympic Brewery, right?
Yeah, right by the old Olympia Brewery.
Yeah,
it's in a big field, and I really like that one. Strange Brew Fest, which was supposed to be last weekend.
That's always a strange one because you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's
you walk into a lot of
weird beers.
A lot of spider webs. You're like, I don't know. I guess it is good, but kinda. I don't know.
It's a beer fest. It's only about strange brews, like crazy, like jelly donut beers, and
So
completely
when I said you could brew anything,
the pizza beer. He wants me to do a pizza beer, and
that
could go into
Strange
about, Brew Fest.
Yeah, talking about tattoos, where it's like, hey, the guy said, hey, if you draw it, if you can say it, I can draw it.
If you think it, I can draw it.
So
Patrick
I was thinking
from Adam's Family Inc.
So at these Strange Brew Fests, do you partake, or are you the one showing up and walking around and
so to tell you what I would bring there, I would bring a pickle beer.
I did a pickle beer. What did I do? I did a cucumber mint.
Would work out well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that salt briny. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. Just use like some
I've tried
juice.
a few pickle gozas and I haven't found one I like yet. But
I'm trying to think. I did try one not too long ago. It's from the Midwest. Yeah.
So forgive me if this has already been talked about. I don't think it has. How did you guys meet?
We didn't know each other before.
I want to say probably
We met at the
Enumclaw Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Probably
sure.
like
That was the first time.
3-4 years ago.
Like I had heard about his progression of being in the garage and trying to get commercialized, and then he came to the Brew Fest, and then I stopped by his garage, and then like
was it
next
4:30? Was it 5 p.m.? Like when did you stop by his garage?
for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I'm going through well, not every time because he's not open the hours that I go through, but
Yeah.
when I'm in Bonnie Lake,
Sorry, he's not open at 2 a.m. There's laws, Sean.
I was thinking more like 9 a.m. But
Luke, before we forget, like, where can we find you on social media? Like, where can we find Lost Woods? Is it a page on Facebook? Is it out in Instagram land?
Yeah. Just search for Lost Woods Brewery on Facebook. Facebook's definitely our most dominant social media
Searching
presence
right now. I'm gonna join this page. I can't wait.
Awesome.
And then, do you have a TikTok? And if you do have a TikTok, what's your dance?
I'm still trying to figure out how to do Instagram. So
Instagram's easy, it's just pictures. But I am still trying to figure out the TikTok. I was active on Instagram, and then I forgot my password, and they're
That's
kind
how
of
it was with Twitter.
I just got mine recovered recently. I
was on Twitter, but then the Twitter is just too much work. Like,
Dude,
you have to be so constant on that. Like,
I just sit on Twitter and just watch stuff.
I know it's a good place to get information, but
Yeah.
I
it
use
sucks
it for
as a
news.
business.
Yeah.
You can't stay.
We have a
active enough.
Twitter handle. I don't think we've ever tweeted though. And then lostwoodsbrewery.com is our website to get merch and stuff.
Talk about some of the merch you got. What's the little merch?
He's got an awesome hat that he's wearing right now.
Yeah, we
It's
just
a
got these
sick
new
hat.
hats that are available in the store. Everything else
Mesh
is
on the back.
on
nice
the
flow.
on the website is hoodies, shirts, tank tops.
I want to point out that he has
Stuff like
he
that.
uses Sasquatch in his kind of his.
Sasquatch is
Yeah.
kind of our mascot, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Not really our logo, but our mascot.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Lost Woods. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Really cool stuff.
I'm going to hit you up with a couple peppered questions that Sean has had in the
missed.
past. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing is, what would you be doing if you weren't brewing? Like, what's your passion other than brewing? Obviously, brewing is a passion. Do you have anything else that you think you'd be doing in the meantime?
Well, I don't know if this is a good industry, like sales or
That's exactly
something
what,
like that.
Yeah, he said farming, more farming.
Yeah.
Well, I also said tap room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind just I can talk beer. I know everybody.
Mhm.
Obviously, once you're in the brew industry, you're always in the brew industry.
Yeah.
You know everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would step down to like a tap room and just promote everybody else.
Yeah.
Push up everybody
Yeah.
around.
But if it wasn't alcohol related or beer related, I should say, I don't know. Probably just live and just travel and do the resort circuit.
Okay.
Work at a resort for 3 months at a time, move on to the next one.
Managing it or
No, just working.
just chilling.
Yeah, just
Work
chilling.
wherever you could.
Yep.
What's in your Pandora or Spotify? Like, what's your, like? We used to say this back in the day when we were like teenagers. What was in your CD player at the time? Obviously, we don't have those anymore.
What's your top song?
What's your songs you listen to?
What you go to?
Yeah.
Go-to song?
Yeah, if
What
you
do
had
you
to
like?
throw something
Yeah.
on the jukebox, what'd you go to?
My top 5 jukebox is probably Cody Jenks, No Effects.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Alright.
No Effects. And then Nirvana, Alice in Chains,
Okay.
and probably something else that's Cody Jenks like.
Are you a gamer or no gamer?
Actually, I just started playing video games again during the shutdown.
Obviously,
got
that's
bored.
Shutdown
started doing
2.
it.
Shutdown 2. I went and bought
had nothing better to do.
I bought a Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah.
And
So, what are you playing?
I play a lot of the older games. You know,
Mario
Mario.
stuff.
Right now, I play a lot of the golf. Like
Mario
what
Golf.
what would you call what you'd call Tiger Woods golf? If it was still called Tiger Woods golf. Like
okay.
PGA 2K21.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I
actually,
love
on
that game.
Xbox. Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely.
But then other than that, I tried to like get into some like the newer Zeldas, and once it goes 360,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I just
Right.
can't do it.
Right.
I've been trying, and I'm like, I suck. I'm gonna stick to 2D or slow moving golf games, like golf. You could put the controller down and go grab a beer.
Leave, come back.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Sports favorite team? Are you a local guy or do you like
yeah,
the obscure?
yeah.
type?
Local everything.
So another question I've asked Sean: who you keeping? You got to get rid of one though. And we've been through this before with the Sonics leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you trade the Sonics for anybody? It's got to be the Mariners, Seahawks, or Sonics. Would you do anything different?
I really want the Sonics back, but I wouldn't trade anybody for them.
Bam! That's what I said too.
That's really
I
good.
fucking love the Sonics, but
Yeah, I'm not trading the Mariners for them.
but yeah, I mean,
Keeping the Mariners, even
basketball
though
is
they
just a stupid
Yeah.
sport.
Oh.
Like the money wise, it just doesn't function.
I just wouldn't want to trade the Mariner. Baseball, I love baseball. So and then football, can't get rid of Seahawks.
Yeah.
And Sounders, can't get rid of Sounders.
Can't get rid of
You know,
Sounders.
like so.
Are you excited for the
And
Kraken?
now we got the Kraken.
I'm very excited about the Kraken.
Yeah.
Are you a season ticket holder, or are you just like?
I'm a Seahawks season ticket holder. But,
Shut up.
But I don't go to very many games anymore. I'll be honest.
Right.
I went to like 150 straight games, and then when I started opening the brewery,
Small business owner.
I
Can't do it.
I didn't have the focus, the time, and so my friends all have. We had like a bunch of tickets together. It was just under my name, so a couple of my friends are using my tickets now. And then
buy it off you.
every once in a while, I get to go to a game. If like I get first dibs, so like, hey, you want to go? Cool, you know. But I still got them, but I just don't go very much.
Don't ever want to get rid of them because you're never getting them back.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So, favorite growing up, favorite local athlete. Who would you root for? Playing for.
Oh,
We could bring in Sonics.
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, Griffey.
Griffey for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a Pokemon Go guy?
No.
Let me talk about Pokemon.
It's 360 degrees, man. It's all over. I can't do that.
So he is, because he understands. He knows that Pokemon Go is.
I don't even know what that means, so he knows more than I know.
I love it. All right. Have you almost killed someone? No, I'm kidding. So when it comes to your favorite beer, what's a beer that you want to try really bad, but you're a little hesitant on either ingredients or just
Going to get it.
go and do it?
You mean like to create?
Yes.
Sours. I really, 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 really want to do sours.
Yeah.
But
The infection is dangerous.
That especially in the current brewing situation, it's just not suitable for it. In the new location, I think I could probably control it.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to give it a go. But there's that's definitely what I would say would be a tough one. Or that I'd be
sure,
scared
for
to
everybody.
try. I don't think it's necessarily tough, but scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can
It
can
can
lead
create
to
a
a
lot
lot
of
of turn into a sour only brewery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you want to be known as the best sour in the nation?
No, I'd leave it to the guys that are good at it. That already really got it dialed in.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, like Russian River does some really great sours. They got they completely separate brew house just for the sour.
It's good to keep. That's almost what you
keep
have
it
to do to
separate.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for, I don't even know, 30 years, 25 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
got some experience.
beer glass collection. Do you have some sort of beer collection? Doesn't have to be beer glass. Could be caps. Could be whatever that you think.
What's your beer-
koozies? What's your
I actually don't. I don't have anything like that. I've tried before, but I never just stick
got
to
into
it.
it? First
Yeah.
job.
It was like a little smoothie stand.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I worked there for a little while, then worked my way around the mall for the next few years.
Shut up.
Worked my way
So what other mall shops did you work at?
Godfather's, electronics place.
Did you get into like the Verizon?
I
or-
operated the kiddie train. There's a little kiddie train that went.
Nice.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and then cell phones, and I did cell phones for forever, for 12, 14 years. That's kind of what my regular.
Or was it T-Mobile, Verizon, or
It was the longest I worked for at a place was T-Mobile.
I worked for T-Mobile as well.
Oh,
I actually
really?
worked at the Supermall outlet and for like a year, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like 2000 and I don't know, probably 2011.
Corporate
2012.
or agent or
No, yeah, I was just selling it. I was at the T-Mobile spot in the
kiosk thing?
the key. No, I didn't. Yeah, we actually our store not only had the store, but we also had the kiosk. So there was a few Saturdays that you had to get shipped off the kiosk. You didn't never want to be at the kiosk.
I bet we probably know a few of the same people. Then.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll talk off air. See, but what we won't talk about. Dude, cell phones. I'm telling you,
Racket.
It was good, man. It was good.
It was good, but it's
Good
hard.
for you.
Yeah.
It takes a toll. It took a toll on me. That means you're a salesman, actually.
That was actually going back to, so I did sales forever, so going back to the earlier questions, like when I quit my job. So after T-Mobile, I was like, I don't want to do cell phones anymore. I went and worked for Comcast.
Yeah. My buddy works there.
Telesales over the phone at the call center.
He does that too, actually.
And I did that for like 3 years, and that was what I was doing. And one day I just called my wife, and I was like, that's it, we're opening a brewery. I'm not coming back.
We're done.
I'm like, I'm not coming back. I had like 4 weeks vacation. And during that 4 weeks, I filed all my TTP paperwork. And
was it scary? Were you scared? Like, honestly, were you scared jumping into this?
I have to remind myself that, especially with the new location, I'm like, what you did before was downright reckless.
Yeah.
So, like,
and
yeah,
everything fell into
and
place.
Everything fell into place.
Out.
So this is actually way less scary than the first time around.
Yeah.
But were you scared? Because the thing is like maybe
I
looking back, you go, man,
no, I wasn't scared.
But you were, because you were focused. You had a dream. You knew it was going to work out for you, kind of a thing.
Not necessarily. It's just something I knew I had to do. So, that was like when they had to shut down the garage. It was great. I worked all this time to get here. Now I can't sell any beer to anybody.
Right.
So I kind of forced my hand at the time, because I was a sole proprietor at the time, to make that jump. And
so was it a blessing in disguise kind of a thing? Like where it was like, man, if I didn't do that, how long would I still be at the garage?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't scared at the time, but looking back on it, I'm like, man, that was nuts. I probably still am nuts to follow your dreams and to
do a small business in the state of Washington.
To follow your dreams in business, small business. You have to be a little crazy. Like it's not something. That's why not everyone does it.
Yeah,
it takes a certain type of person to not freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially probably during this time.
Yeah.
I think that if you can get through this, then you're going to come back stronger. I think that was the kind of thing with the recession back in 2008, 2009, 2010. Or anything going, if you could make it through, then you were going to come back even stronger. And I feel like this is like times that by like 3 or 4. Like,
and I'm
super strong when you get out of this.
And I'm so happy to see how many places have made it so far, particularly in the state of Washington. There have been some, but I think a lot less than what people were anticipating.
Yeah,
I don't know if you get that feeling. I mean, people are making it through it, so
couple of the bigger ones have
harder for the bigger guys.
Yeah,
in this climate,
but small guys.
Yeah,
we got solid local support. It's about having your local regular people, and those are the ones that really support us and keep us going.
Yeah.
Any of those local people to shout out right now to say, hey,
some of your good customers.
Yeah, some of your good customers that you can remember. Okay,
I would just say all of our Mug Club members. I mean, they're heart and soul of what we do, and all of some customers that just don't want to be Mug Club members. I mean, I'd just say everybody.
Yeah.
It's the support we have is sometimes I'm like, wow, I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's really good. So I'd just say all of our customers.
Yeah. Anybody that comes out and drinks beer.
Yeah. To get growlers and stuff. So once we're rolling back out we'll probably have a larger customer base once everything's back to semi-normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, again,
that's good.
Coming back strong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So your second location, you can't talk about where it's at the moment, right?
No. I'm not comfortable until the lease is signed.
So it's actually
signed.
Fine.
Yeah.
But is it going to be like a distance, or is it going to be semi nearby where you're currently at?
It's in our area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have to like.
It's not that we
travel super far.
We looked far and wide. We looked as far as Port Angeles, Ocean area, Eastern Washington, Northern Washington. I wasn't afraid to have a brewery in a farther off spot if it made sense. But luckily, we were able to stay here. In this area, so that was a huge bonus if this is what happens.
That's great.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. So you got any more questions? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So shout outs. I want to shout out everyone that will go visit. I want to shout out. This is a preemptive shout out. Now, sometimes people do this. They'll do it's like a tip. I've heard people that will actually tip the waiter and the waitress prior to even getting served the food. and they actually tip a little bit larger because they want to have the best service they could possibly get. And so for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shout out those people that are going to go to Lost Woods Brewery. Is that how I said it right?
Yep.
Okay. And you're going to say, hey, I listened to this podcast with Sean and Travis, and that's why I came. I wanted to say hi. I wanted to say that I just want to support you. And so I'm shouting you guys out. I know there's loyal people that listen to this week in and week out. And please go drive. It's not that far. Super, super close. Go say hi to Luke. Go to Lost Woods Brewery. And please mention FullBodyCast/BrewHaha. Take a picture. Take yourself in. Let us know. And I just want to that's my shout out to the future people that are doing that. Those are my shout outs.
Yeah, I think Luke brought up a great point. Obviously I want to shout out all the great support. And, you touched on that too, like the great local support, people that, haven't found us before, like during this COVID time, they've come out and found us. I really appreciate all those people coming out and, all small businesses, we all need your support. It's been a really trying time and really appreciate everybody that's come out. Like shout out to anybody that's, supporting local. Keep it local.
Keep it local.
And I would say other than just a shout out to the customers, like I said earlier, but thanks to you guys for just kind of starting this podcast and inviting me over to talk and what you guys plan on doing for local tap houses and breweries in the area sounds really great. I'm glad you guys started it.
Yeah. I mean, telling you, go ahead.
No.
I was telling you, hey, if you guys are on the east side, if you guys are listening, we have listeners from all over. You guys are in Oregon, and you're driving up here and you're wanting to try out a couple breweries. Obviously, hit up Lost Woods. Obviously, hit up Cole Street Brewery. Plan a day. Plan a weekend. There's plenty around here.
Yeah, you can totally bounce around. It depending on which way you're coming. You're coming up from Tacoma. You can come up and you get off Camber. You come up the hill. You hit Lost Woods. Then you come into Buckley and you hit Elkhead. Then you come into Enumclaw. You hit me at Cole Street Brewery. You hit Headworks. Then you can move on down the line to Lumber House. It's in Black Diamond. Then you can get right back on 18. There's Imbibe, which is a
Imbibe's
great
right
little
there. Yep.
tap house.
Yep.
Hit Imbibe in Maple Valley. Then you get on 18. And you can cruise right back to up to I-5 and then right back down to Tacoma. I mean, it's a nice little round. Then you can do the reverse. You can come from Renton and go right down the hill, up the hill.
Make it a weekend trip. Surprise your girlfriend for St. Patrick's Day or for we're going to come up. Obviously, Luke's going to hit us up with some upcoming events that will be approved events.
Yeah, right.
Down the road.
Hopefully.
But we're gonna get back to normal at some point, and let's just have a lot of fun when we get back to normal. So
that's for sure.
Appreciate the shout out, Luke. That was very nice. Go ahead, take a sip. You're good.
Thanks for coming out, Luke. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Shout out to you for working with that pop filter that keeps sliding around on you. And everyone, thanks so much for listening. Appreciate all of you guys. Hit them up on real quick what your social is, real quick, social media.
At Lost Woods Brewery on Facebook. Just search it up. It should pop up right away. Yeah. And then lostwoodsbrewery.com is where we post some news every once in a while. And also, if you want to get some cool merch, check it out there.
Awesome. And then also hit up Cole Street Brewery. What's your guys' handle?
Yeah, Cole Street Brewery on Facebook and then colestreetbrew.com.
Yeah. All right. Hit up and get the merch as well there too. And hit up Full Body Cast if you guys could. And message us, email us, text us. And if there's questions you have for Lost Woods, we'll get that answer. We'll bring Luke back.
Yeah, Luke's going to be back.
Yeah.
Probably summertime after his new place opens. We're going to get back on here and talk about his new place.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll be doing it.
Glad to give an update.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Making your way in the world today, you really need a pod. Why don't you put your headphones in and give this one a shot? Wouldn't you like to just listen away and go to a place where everybody knows who you are? Listen to two guys brew, ha ha. Cole Street Brewery and Full Body Cast, two of the greatest names. Why don't you go and listen to this episode?